Police officers often face more than just enforcing the law. They also deal with individuals who let their emotions, pride, or intoxication take control. Whether it's a mother accused of assaulting her own son, a drunken woman causing chaos in a movie theater, or someone turning a simple parking issue into a full-blown arrest, each of these incidents shows how quickly things can spiral out of control when people refuse to cooperate. These real-life events, all captured on bodycam footage, serve as a reminder that resisting arrest and challenging authority only make matters worse. In each case, what started as a manageable situation escalated into a serious legal problem, all because the individuals involved chose confrontation over compliance. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell before we dive into shocking bodycam footage showing how simple situations turned chaotic, from a mother resisting arrest to drunken outbursts. Don't miss a second. Mother resists arrest in Naperville. In Naperville, Illinois, police officers responded to a call about a domestic disturbance involving a mother and her adult son. When they arrived at the scene, they attempted to speak with the mother.
Sorry? Are you talking to me?
You came for the cop?
I came, you call 911?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she refused to cooperate. Instead of answering questions, she continuously challenged the officers, ignored their instructions, and tried to walk away. The officers made multiple attempts to de-escalate the situation and speak with her calmly, but her behavior became increasingly confrontational. The officers informed her that her son had visible injuries on his face and that she was being charged with domestic battery. Despite this, she refused to be taken into custody and began resisting arrest. As they tried to detain her, she physically resisted and accused the police of violating her rights. She repeatedly shouted that the arrest was illegal and claimed she had done nothing wrong. The officers remained calm but had to use force to restrain her safely and place her in handcuffs. When they tried to move her to the squad car, she went limp, forcing the officers to physically carry her. Throughout the arrest, she continued shouting accusations at the officers, insisting that they were acting unlawfully. The entire incident was captured on bodycam footage, which later served as an important piece of evidence to ensure transparency and confirm that proper procedures were followed. This case highlights the difficulties officers face when individuals refuse to comply during serious investigations. Intoxicated woman resists arrest at New Jersey movie theater. In Paramus, New Jersey, police responded to a call about a disturbance at a movie theater. Employees reported that a woman, visibly intoxicated or under the influence of drugs, skipped the concession line and became frustrated when asked to return to the end of the line.
Excuse me, ma'am? Hi, how are you? I'm Officer Gray with Paramus Police Department. You gotta come outside with me, okay? Yeah, they want you to leave the property.
Her frustration escalated, and she began shaking the point-of-sale system, prompting theater staff to request her removal from the property and a ban from the mall. When officers arrived, they attempted to escort her out of the building, but she refused to comply. She insisted that she had done nothing wrong and became increasingly combative. The situation escalated when the woman, later identified as 28-year-old LaDonna Nathan, resisted arrest and tried to spit at the officers. Despite their efforts to calm her down, she continued to fight, which led to officers restraining her by placing a spit mask on her. The officers worked together to carry LaDonna out of the mall while she continued to struggle. She was eventually transported to an ambulance for medical evaluation and was charged with resisting arrest and aggravated assault. At the station, LaDonna complied with the booking process, and there were no indications that she was under the influence of drugs or alcohol at the time of her arrest. However, the case was still pending, and the outcome was not determined at the time of the recording. This incident highlights the challenges law enforcement faces when dealing with individuals who refuse to cooperate during an arrest. Florida woman arrested after drunken outburst over parking dispute. A woman called the police to complain that other business patrons were blocking her parking spot. Officer Bierbauer responded and noticed that several parking spots were actually available. When the woman pointed to a white Jeep parked illegally on the side of the road and claimed it was hers, the officer sensed something was wrong. He immediately smelled alcohol on her breath and warned her not to drive, or she would be arrested for DUI. The woman became defensive and started arguing aggressively, refusing to cooperate.
You can smell alcohol on your breath, okay?
I'm getting real mad.
This is what I do for a living,
I'm getting real mad.
Okay, you can get as mad as you want to, okay? I'm trying to explain it to you, man.
Despite several warnings, she continued to escalate the situation, reaching into her pockets and refusing to follow basic instructions. The situation began when a Florida woman, later identified as 26-year-old Michelle Jackson, called the police to complain about a blocked parking spot. When Officer Bierbauer arrived at the scene, he found multiple available spaces and immediately sensed something was off, especially after smelling alcohol on her breath. He warned her not to drive due to the risk of DUI, but instead of complying, Michelle became defensive and argumentative. Her behavior escalated quickly, ignoring instructions and reaching into her pockets despite several warnings from the officer. As the officer attempted to arrest her for disorderly conduct and a potential DUI, Michelle resisted aggressively. She yelled at the officer, claimed unfair treatment, and refused to put her hands behind her back. The situation turned physical as she continued to struggle and accused the officer of using unnecessary force. Even after being restrained and placed in the patrol car, she managed to manipulate her handcuffs to the front and had to be repositioned by officers. Throughout the ordeal, she hurled offensive remarks and threats, insisting she would sue and repeatedly demanded badge numbers. Michelle's actions, fueled by intoxication, transformed a simple parking complaint into a serious confrontation with law enforcement. Ultimately, she was charged with battery and resisting an officer. In court, she pleaded no contest and received 24 months of probation, was ordered to write an apology letter, and paid $1,115 in court fees. What could have been a minor situation became a costly legal issue due to her refusal to cooperate. From famous mom to felon. The shocking story of Ruby Frank. Ruby Frank was a well-known mom influencer who shared parenting tips with over 2.5 million followers on YouTube. She promoted tough love parenting with her partner, Jody Hildebrandt. But everything changed when police discovered terrible child abuse happening in their home. It all began when Ruby's 12-year-old son escaped from the house and ran to a neighbor's for help. He was extremely thin, had duct tape around his arms and legs, and was begging for food and water. When police and paramedics arrived, they found a young girl sitting silently in a closet. She was so scared she couldn't speak. It took hours of gentle talking and the offer of pizza to help her come out. Police then raided the home and arrested Ruby and Jody. Bodycam footage showed Ruby being handcuffed and taken away, finally ending the abuse. Paramedics were heartbroken by what they saw. This shocking case was turned into a special episode on the TV show 2020, showing how someone who seemed to give helpful advice online was actually hurting children behind closed doors. Ruby Frank went from being a popular mom influencer to a convicted felon, and now faces the consequences of her actions. These real-life incidents show how quickly things can escalate when emotions run high and cooperation is lost. Whether it's pride, anger, or intoxication, refusing to follow lawful instructions often turns minor issues into serious legal troubles. From a mother's resistance to a movie theater meltdown in a parking dispute gone wrong, each story is a reminder that calm decisions and compliance can prevent unnecessary chaos. If you found these real incidents eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life stories caught on camera, and let us know in the comments which moment shocked you the most.